Welcome to this edition of the Rhody Reporter. I'll be your host for the segment, Mark Zaccaria. If you've followed this editorial series, you've heard us talk before about Second Amendment rights. Every individual citizen has the right to have and bear arms. It's guaranteed by both the U.S. Constitution and the Rhode Island Constitution. Even so, there is a long history of attempted government compromise of that individual right. Recent legislative action in states like Virginia, California, and New York have triggered surprisingly large public outcry from the law-abiding citizens. Others who vehemently oppose any presence of firearms in modern society have also made their voices heard. That lines have been drawn in this debate is absolutely understandable. For most Americans, there is no day-to-day need for firearms. Hunting for food is usually sport, not a nutritional necessity. Defending your family and your home from predatory wild animals is almost never required anywhere. So, most commentators find the rate of accidental death or injury associated with careless handling of weapons to be unacceptably high. That rate, however, is far lower than similar rates for accidents involving automobiles or even chainsaws. The difference is that everyone has a real need for automotive transportation every single day. There may not be too many chainsaws in Manhattan, but in rural and farm communities they are an absolute requirement. Then there's the fact that a firearm is a tool with only one purpose: to project lethal force. That frightens many folks into believing that guns should be relegated to history, not preserved for the future. A moment ago, I surmised that most Americans have no need for firearms. I'd actually amend that statement slightly. You don't need a gun until the moment you do need a gun. At that moment, when you are faced with a lethal assault, do you feel you have the right to prevent your own untimely death? I hope you feel that way. Law enforcement is on the record for confirming that they are incapable of protecting us from violence in most instances, such as home invasion, muggings, and armed robberies. The average response time to a 911 call across America is 10 minutes. For people living in rural areas, the response time can be twice that. To exacerbate the situation, we are seeing a clear trend in larger cities whereby violent criminals are being released without bail. And we want to disarm ourselves now? I hope a car or a chainsaw is not your only option for defense. And if you choose to keep a firearm for that moment we all dread, I fervently hope that you are completely familiar with it and an expert in its use. Facing a criminal assault is no time for inexperience. If you feel that a sovereign individual in our society has the right to life whilst healthy enough to enjoy the pursuit of happiness, then you have to agree that the right to defend against lethal violence must be upheld. There's a cacophony of gun control measures now making its way through the Rhode Island General Assembly. These proposals are all motivated by either the belief that ordinary citizens are not capable of responsible self-defense, or that removing firearms from law-abiding citizens will magically remove them from criminals, or by the ingrained bias that government must positively control all aspects of everyone's existence. Your erstwhile Rhody Reporter respectfully rejects all these idiotic positions. You innately trust all other motorists as we hurtle together down the highways at breakneck speeds. And that trust is virtually always well-founded. So have a little faith in the ability of law-abiding gun owners. We have plenty of laws concerning bad behavior. Let's not ban objects, especially those specifically protected by our founding documents.